Juice 107.3, Gosha and Michael for a fresh way to start your day. And we're very privileged because this morning we've got a special visitor, Andrea Simmons. She is heading up something that's happening tonight, a very important event. Tell us a little bit about this.
Thanks, Gosha. Michael. Yeah, we're holding a forum on the Gold Coast. It's a public forum. It's a free forum speaking about the topic of ice. It's a huge epidemic in our nation.
Ice addiction is very prevalent on the Gold Coast.
Absolutely. 48% of the meth labs are actually Queensland based.
You're kidding?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you get involved with this? Where did your interest spark from?
At the age of 21, I'd made my first $1 million. I was successful. Yeah, I had businesses. I had, successful life. And over 6 years ago, I was going through a rough patch in my life at 40 years of age. I met somebody who I fell head over heels in love with, and he was an ice smoker and had been for a few years, but I didn't know. And going through that rough time and through a divorce, and he just, he said, "Oh, you'll be all right. Just take a little bit. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it." And of course, I did, and that's all it took. And 2 years later, I woke up pretty much from a devastating outcome of just losing everything and becoming somebody that I wasn't. And I had lost my home, my children, my properties, my car. I was alone in an empty room.
So you were 40 years old the first time drugs ever came into your life, and it was through somebody that you loved and somebody who cared for you.
Everybody thinks it won't happen to them, and you think you won't get hooked in, and that's the problem with this particular drug. You lose everything. Bit by bit, you end up just selling everything to get the next hit. I'm still in debt today. I lost everything, but that wasn't the whole of it. Money is not everything.
Correct.
I lost myself. I did things that I'm not even proud to talk about today, and I can't believe it was me. People refer to an ice addict, they're animals. Well, they're actually like somebody like you and like me. They are in addiction and they need help. And inside that person, there's somebody that's hurting, and there's somebody that, needs some direction. And that's why we're doing these forums. We're urging the community to know what to do, to know how to bring them to a point of, and not enabling their habit, bring them to a point of, handing over and saying, I need some help, and know where to take them. Where do you go?
We're going to take a short break, but I want to come back and I want to find out from you how you got out, what steps you took to turn your life around and to be where you are today. Gosha and Michael with you this morning. We are having a very interesting conversation right now with Andrea Simmons. She's an ex-ice addict and now is a woman making a difference here on the Gold Coast, pioneering an education program and an open forum which is happening tonight.
7 p.m. at Albert Waterways in Broadbeach. It's a community centre next to Pacific Fair and the Gold Coast Library there.
Now, before the break, you were sharing how you yourself are aged 21, $1 million up your sleeve, very prosperous, savvy, smart woman. Life was going great. Age 40, you met someone who first introduced you to drugs in the form of ice. What I want to know is, how did you get out of that? What happened in your life to take you from that place of destruction to where you are today, pioneering this campaign?
When you're on ice, you go for 3 or 4 or 5 days straight without sleeping and eating, and then you crash. And I had woken up from a 3-day crash, and I thought I'll get out of the house and go and take a walk, and I ended up at the steps of a vandalised church. Mind you, this is what I was doing to my body. This is, the house that I was given. I was destroying it. I was weighing 41 kilos. I ended up at the church steps looking at that cross, and a voice spoke to me, and he said, "Get up and go home, my child." And I said, "What? This is insane. Now I'm hearing voices. This is crazy. Go home. I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I've got no home. I just fell apart. I've got no strength to do this anymore." And he said, "I will give you strength."
Wow.
And I got up, almost like in a robotic trance, and I was led back home step by step within a day. I had no money, and then I checked my account and I had exactly the amount of money to get back on the plane.
You're kidding.
My mum didn't recognise me at the airport when I got back. I walked right into her and she said, "Who are you?" I said, "Mum, it's me." So I must have, my hair was falling out. I looked a mess, and I was ruining what I had been given. My body was healed from the addiction, from the destruction that I did. I believe I'm alive today to help others, and I don't want them to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare and it's a life of hell. And I just, my heart goes out to these youth because they can't make logical decisions. And, we just want to get the message out there, this is what ICE does, this is what it does to you, this is how it ruins your life, and everything about it is negative, and it doesn't only happen to me, it happens to everybody. So we show them in the education program clips about, what it does to other people, and we're all the same. It affects us all in the same way. I remember when my mind came back after, 9 months, a year, because that's how long it takes for your mind to start to rebalance and think properly again. And I thought, man, I wish somebody had just warned me what was going to happen. If I could just have seen what was about to take place, I would have never taken it.
Knowledge is power, and the more information you can get out to the people, the better they'll be, right?
Yes, that's correct. Can I just say, even if you don't have anybody near you or you're not affected by it, awareness is prevention, education is prevention. So you might not need it today, but you may need it tomorrow. It's everywhere on our streets, and you will come across somebody in the next year that needs help, and you need to know what to do.
Albert Waterways Community Centre on Hooker Boulevard and Sunshine Boulevard, Broad Beach Waters. Gold coin donation and a 7 p.m. start tonight.